Welcome to the Scale Builders Guild. You'll notice that there is some good news and bad news tonight. The good news is I'm here. The bad news is I'm here. Or, alternatively, the good news is Josh isn't here. The bad news is Josh isn't here. Anyway, it's just going to be me tonight. So let's pop out the chat. The reason, obviously, why Josh isn't on today is internet. You may have noticed his title was 56K. So yeah, apparently Comcast is Comcasting themselves a new internet in his place. So it's just me. It's all we got. So cheers. Let me know where you're watching from. And it's young homeless Matt. Yes, that's true. It's his internet, yes. Yeah. Josh can't go to the library. I'm not sure Josh has ever been in a library. We need to GoFundMe for Josh's internet? Yes, absolutely. Cheers from a house with functioning internet. Yes, and right back at you. Cheers. So without Josh, I was going to have a guest. But that guest is unavailable. Because it's his wife's birthday or something. Lame. So I'll be doing this show by myself. Who knows how long my voice is going to hold up for all this talking. Because usually... Oh, I didn't even realize that. Ah, hey. That's wild. Notice here, though, in Canada, for some reason, we call it Coors Original. But it's Coors Banquet. Can't tell me anything different. I was born at Coors Banquet, I'll die at Coors Banquet. Yeah, a little on the nose, I know. But I didn't even really think that through. I just grabbed a t-shirt. Ah, Jason, you got your stickers. Huzzah. That's excellent. Good to know. Finally get to watch live from Utah. Welcome. Thank you for joining. Tell them to get some aluminum foil out the window. Not going to work. Yeah. I mean, I could call in. Pass. Hard pass. Hashtag brought to you by. You know what? That would be wicked awesome. If Coors Banquet would sponsor this show. Man, that would be wild. Get Bialzik. It's the night. This is the night for sure. Hi, Teresa. Always great to see you. Hi, Matt. Why doesn't Josh use his phone out on the patio? I don't think his cell service is nearly as good at home as the internet is currently for him. So it's bad all around, unfortunately. Wait, when did the stickers go out? The weekend before Labor Day. Like Monday or Tuesday before Labor Day. So is my stickers being delivered by Tortilla because they are taking forever? Possibly. I don't know. It's the mail system is wild bad. Like between the Canadian Postal Service and the U.S. Postal Service and a holiday weekend, I feel like they were like, we'll do these later. So yeah, probably. Have Josh's mom on as a guest. Now that's not a bad idea. Yes, he has been to a library. Good. That's good. I'm glad to hear that. I got my stickers. They are sticky. That's great. Oh, it's funny. I was thinking today because I have... It's not really funny, I guess. It's more of a anecdotal story. But speaking of sticky, which was the name of one of the boats, this is the Typhon Grom, which is just a little 2 to 3S little guy. This is the one with DSC. It's wild, super fun. Way too fast for its size, but a fun little car. Did you guys see that Proline announced and put out that Beetle body to convert this to sort of like a Baja Bug. Well, I've got a clear one on the way, and obviously since it's a Beetle, I'm sure all of you know what livery I'm doing. And I came up with a good name for it too, because Shippy was the original. What did we call the other one? Dippy. That's right. Shippy, Dippy, Sticky was one of the boats. I think the Typhon conversion to Beetle will be called Rippy, because it's going to be so fast. Herbie, obviously. Thomas, hello. Backshed RC, hello. Where is that other guy? At least we have the eye candy on tonight. Thank you very much. Much appreciated. Oh, you. Josh's internet sucks, and it's absolutely 100% completely out. Doesn't have it. They're fixing it. They're making it better. So, it's just me tonight. Oh, God. These are terrible. Zippy is pretty good. I like that one, Apex. That could be a good one. Blippy, Lippy, Flippy. Flippy, yeah. Skippy. That's a good one, too. Oh, Aaron, you already converted yours. That was quick. Did you do one? Like, did you paint? Did you do one? Did you paint it? Paint flowers on it called Trippy. Just going to say that your new haircut makes you look more mature? That's wild, because I've had people tell me it makes me look less mature. I've heard, wow, that took 10 years off of you, which I will definitely take at this age. I'm 73 years old. Yeah. What do you think about the associated mess? Well, I know everyone's like, there's no good guys, everyone's bad guy. But regardless, as far as I see it, it's like, in my mind, Horizon was just like, these aren't moving. We need to sell these. We don't care if we take a loss. We just need to get rid of them. That's how I see it. I don't know what happened. I am not privy to any of that sort of thing, so this is all speculation on my part. But if that's what happened, then, you know, I don't really fault them for wanting to get rid of product that isn't selling. For Associated to get all cranky about it is just like, I don't know. I mean, they've already bought it from you. And I understand as long as they're not undercutting, you know, like whatever, you know, the sort of the break even or whatever, how pricing works, as long as they're not breaking any agreements, let them do what they're going to do. RC10 Horizon Hobby Bad Edition. Would it just be the Horizon logo with a big, like, no, like the red no circle with the cross through it? That would be amazing if it was. The Team Associated thing is weird because the prices are not much cheaper than Team Associated has them on sale for currently. $5. If it's just over $5, what's the problem? As long as map price doesn't undercut local hobby shop. Fair enough. Exactly. Is there ever a dead stock clause? Like if product sits on the shelf for X days, they can liquidate. Great question. See, we're not privy to any of this stuff. We don't know how these deals are done. Josh doesn't tell me how any of that stuff works, so I have no idea. I'm just a guy enjoying a show without Josh. Youth, Brian, I think Horizon's close to being belly up. Event cancellation and lack of magazine ads. I don't know that I would put a lack of magazine ads at the top of my list for why a company's going out of business. I think that's smart because nobody reads magazines anymore. And if it's like RC Car Action, I didn't even know it still existed, to be fair. King Ding. I'm the king of the ding-dongs. Where do you get your HPI stuff from? I've yet to find the Riri of the FJ body for sale anywhere. That's a good question. There's a couple of places that sell HPI. I think, well, I mean, they're all Canadian retailers, so I wouldn't know for you. Google, I think, is your friend there, Josh. Who's buying new Element trucks besides the transmission? Well, okay, don't lump in the Stealth X transmission with an Axial 3 gear, because they are not the same. Axial 3 gear has no overdrive option, I don't think. You can only do it at the axle. So that actually isn't totally true. Big ball sack. Oh, I didn't know that he did that. What do you think about K-pop firing up his gas Baja 5B in his apartment at 12:30 in the morning? I betcha his neighbors were unpleased with that. Uh-oh, a Josh type question. What body works best for the Vanquish straight axle kit? Anything with a 12.3-inch wheelbase. Because you can put anything on there. In fact, since it's right here, you could do this. Put one of these on there. This is the Project IJ project. IJ. And underneath that is the Vanquish straight axle builder's kit. Obviously with some upgrades on the axle department, but yeah, plops right on there real nice. And then you've got a very custom Jeep, which I was out driving today. Running video coming soon. Magazine ads are dead in the entire world. There are still magazines? Apparently. A lack of radio ads is the way to I see. Yeah, I thought that was newspaper ads. Map is really only enforceable in Canada by refusing to resupply a vendor. Interesting. Matt's hair has Subaru Outback all over it. Speaking of hair and vehicles, I don't know how the hair relates to this, but on Saturday I'm just going to look, because I was told in no uncertain terms, if I came home with one, I would get divorced. But I'm just going to look at Rivian. They've got a pop-up. There's no real dealers here in Toronto, so they're doing this as sort of like a test to see if there's interest, which obviously I think there is. But I'm going to go test drive an R1S. I'm just looking, though. I don't care what incentives there are. I was in car action once. I went by the name of Mike Honcho. Why do I read these comments? I like Element 2. I liked what they were trying to do. But I feel like they've been severely handcuffed by Thunder Tiger. That's the parent company of Team Associated, Element, all of them. And it just feels like someone else is in charge. And they're not willing to do anything with Element at all. Which is really sad. I feel like they were trying to zig when everybody else was zagging. Maybe. You look like you just woke up. I've been up for hours. Literal hours. I've been up 14 hours already. Decided to come to your stream. I don't want secondhand internet issues. I don't think that's how that works, but thank you for coming over here. I answered that question. Leaf springs also work great on that chassis. Can confirm with this truck. This started as a straight axle builder's kit as well, but now it has leaf springs on it. And it's way cooler because of that headliner right there. Anyway, yes, you can put leaf springs on it if you wanted. I should put leaf springs on my Ripper just to really, really, really annoy Josh. Awesome build in real life. Yes, Jay Walker and Caledon Crawlers were out with me on Saturday doing tiny truck stuff, which was super fun. What kind of axles on the IJ? These are the... Are you saying this to get me to say it wrong? These are the D44s? I believe these are the D44s. Wheels, these are the kilos. 1.9 kilos from Vanquish. BBW. Jork and the Peanuts. Any tips on printing ABS on a P1S? If you do you have an enclosure, P1S has the enclosure, right? If it doesn't, you need an enclosure because it needs to get wicked hot. I am so far behind. SUV, R1S. Don't do it. So you're buying... No, I'm not. I told the guy... I said, I'm just going to check out what they're like, what the driving dynamics are like, how much battery I can expect, what kind of range I can expect, because I have a pre-order for the R2. I'm not buying an R1S. I'm not... They gave it to me! I am supposed to also go to a soccer game, but if that soccer game is at night, I can't go because Rebecca and I are going to a concert. So there's that. You're getting divorced. I'm not bringing one home. I swear to God, I don't want an R1S. It's too big. I like the R2, small. Then test drive it again in January and get back to us. Right. Don't you have an R? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Well, not saying that one out loud, just in case Rebecca can hear me. R3, also very cool. I do like the look of that. Oh my gosh. I feel like some of these questions are flying in and I'm just missing them. I am scrolling. Do you know how Turk made the windshield on the FJ60? I presume this file came with these windows as flat pieces, and then you just cut it out and glue it in. It's just Lexan. Nothing crazy there. I like that camo truck behind you, but shouldn't that guy also be in camo? The reason I'm not in camo in that is that it's civilian now. Leaf your origin. That's correct, D44. Success. It's going to do it. Is it going to do it? Yeah. That Jeep is cool for a Jeep. Yes. Oh my gosh. So many comments. 10 days without Lexan. Gotta be getting ready. Yeah. I feel like minutes away, maybe. Although, yes. Yeah, if that Proline bug body shows up, I'm going to have to trim that out. I think that doesn't come trimmed. Leak something. This isn't Vanquish. I don't just leak things. Oh yeah, maybe Chris, you're right. Maybe if I say that when I'm at the dealership, I'll be like, you know, I do a lot of work with trucks and they're electric. So yeah, buy the Porsche GT3. Can't definitely do that. It's not happening. No, I would trade in the Volvo if I were going to do any of these things, but I'm not. Secretly, I still want a Taycan, but I want the Cross Turismo. Don't forget to ask about anti-theft. Random thought, just saying. RC Underdog, thank you very much. Been a while since I caught this show. Great that it's still going. Even better that it doesn't have Josh. Agreed. Much better show. I was thinking of doing a little show and tell today. So if there's anything behind you that you want to see, because I have nothing for mail call that I can show you. Because I can't. Because I don't have anything. Yeah. Don't crack the door while printing. Print a lot of white ABS on my P1S and have great luck with it. As mentioned above, make sure it's dry as well. Yes, you have to dry it. And not just dry it, but drying filament is the right thing to do. Hear me out. You need something with 3 pedals. Leafy Boy Scottsdale is getting close to being done. I can't wait to see that, Logan. I've been watching internet progress on it, and I love leaf springs. I do. I had the Jeep CJ leaf spring, the Leaf Merchant leaf spring conversion with Twisted Fabco leafs out today as well. While I was driving the other Jeep. It was 2 Jeeps. I think I said that already. Didn't I? Maybe that was for What's on the Bench. Doesn't matter. That video is coming soon. What's your beef with the non-RC Toyota Land Cruiser? In one of your videos you said you didn't like some of the features. The most recent one? I think it's a little basic for what you're paying. It's also smaller than I thought it was going to be. And I don't like that it's a hybrid in that it's really just like the Toyota style of very basic hybrid, where it's just like electric off like I think it's just a 12 volt electric for like just accelerating from stop and then full gas again. I wish they did something better. Yeah. Oh man, I'm self-loathing and a glutton for punishment, so I bought a 2015 Jeep Grand Cherokee on Monday. What a choice you made. Why? So curious about that. Tell me in private. So, multiple Christmases? Still answering more than Josh. Yeah, I'm doing my best. I did look at the slate. That is an interesting thing too. I could see that being a great retirement vehicle, because what I view retirement as for me is taking this full time. So real job ends at whatever point they decide they don't like me anymore. Then this becomes full time. And then I rent an actual shop space. The sort of like live work style. Kind of like, I imagine like Tomley's space. And then I would have a little slate for getting back and forth home, work, home, work, home, work. That's what I would say. Have you retired from kart racing? No. In fact, I have to go do some practicing because when I get to NERSA again this year, I'm going with the Vanquish boys to have some fun and also attend the show. We won the kart championship last year for NERSA, so we have to defend that title again this year. How many days till Valve Day? You know what's funny, Phoenix? I don't even know if I turned it on this year. I'll have to think about that. Chassis on this CUCV is the GCM C-Max. Perfect chassis for that, because you can get extra super long rails if you need them. Found the files on Cults. Doesn't come with that. Any tips on making Lexan form like that? Yes. Top tip. This one's for free. Get some masking tape and pull it nice and taut as you lay it down on the area and where you're putting in that windshield, and then trace out the shape while it's still on the windshield. Pull it off, cut it out. That's the contour that you need, and that way it'll bend properly. That one's not very complex, so it should be pretty easy. Bug body is fully trimmed. Even the blank ones, YouTube truck channel with electric and steam powered trucks. I think that's the clincher for a free R1S. How many unreleased things are you sitting on? 4 that I can count right now. I can think of. 2 more on the way. 6. Just park it at work and drive the full. Oh my God. That's wildly too. That's fiscally irresponsible. Thomas Bialzik, thank you very much. What do you know about WPL asking for input on their upcoming 1/10 Jimny? I don't know. I don't communicate with WPL. I don't really like their stuff very much. Show me how to leaf a ripper. It's easy. We'll figure it out. We can sort it out. I want to see the inside of that FJ60 body. Okay. No problem. It's a swivel mount. Richard made this. I think it's bolted in there pretty good. So it shan't be coming off. There you go. Pretty clean. It's even got some door cards in there. Just little ones. And an interior, of course. Still smells like Richard's house. Better turn those tires while I'm thinking about it. Next week's mail call will be an R1S. Can you imagine if that was true? I'd be live streaming from the truck, I think. How do you like the new 2-in-1 in the IJ? Great question. That Furatech 2-in-1, the Unity, is fantastic. It's working so well. I will say it felt a little hot after I ran today. And it's not a hot day. So I think Josh was right to add some cooling. But I did get an email from Furatech today, actually, that mentioned some small minor adjustments and changes in the actual retail units. So there may be something good coming there. So release videos this week. I'm not saying when new releases are coming, but I don't think it's this week. Show the bed of the Cuck-V fixed and painted and installed. I haven't done any of those things yet because 99% of people like the fact that it's bent. And it's growing on me too. I don't know that I'm going to do it. Maybe what I'll do is I'll sand and paint and finish this one that Matt sent me and send it back to him. Be like, here's your Cuck-V. The back half anyway. Maybe that'll prompt him to build his own instead of trying to buy mine. Probably not though. What vehicle did you use the 3 Racing magnetic body mounts on? Is that the one for the Secura D5? If so, I use that on the drift cars. Sticker sheets shipped weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, maybe more now. But there was a holiday weekend in there and they're shipped via regular standard shitty mail. So it could take a very long time. They're crossing borders. 3 weeks, could be even 4 weeks. Hard to say. If you don't get them though, in like another week and a half, send me an email. I will send out another set. Free of charge. Sorry. Lots of messages. By the way, I'm printing Night Customs Phoenix driver right now. That's me. That's what I look like. Good thing I'm wearing a hat. Couldn't keep up with all the hair changes, probably. What if you just got an efficient gas-powered vehicle? Well, I already have one of those. It's my plug-in hybrid. It's extremely gas efficient. I fill up 3 times a year. Those miners are going to be shaking in their racing boots. It's not... No, we're racing like other hobby shop employees and stuff. I think Horizon fielded a team. I think. They're definitely doing one this year. I know that for a fact. They're coming for us. I'm late, but I'm not surprised you're the only one here. I haven't even heard from Josh. He hasn't even, like, checked in. No chime in, no nothing. Hey now, a milestone chat. What, 16 months. Wow. Congratulations on being a member for that long. I'm in the process of building a carpet track in a building shared with K1. That's fun. Very cool. 6 new unreleased. Nothing is being... Well, something is being released tomorrow. I hope. Because I've already done the video. Hit the like button so Josh can feel the love. Yeah. Remember when Matt used to... Ooh, ouch. That's... Hey, I can still scratch build, and perhaps, you know, I'll have to do that to prove it to everybody that I'm still capable of scratch building. That's a low blow, but I'll take it. How's the LS Post been driving? I haven't driven that in some time, but that does kind of make me feel like I should get it out. So maybe I will. I will. Any chance of seeing the Camtech? I can get that for you. One moment, please. Here it is. Oh, I'm so glad that I got this back. All required was a trip to California. Shifted into H. Yeah. Vintage sticker. Sorry for driving so close in front of you. Yeah. Not much else to say about it. It's dead stock everywhere, inside and out, basically. Just Homer. That was fun painting that on Lexan. That was not easy. Had to think in reverse. C-Death 1313. Know of any hitch receiver bumpers for the Phoenix? Need to tow my M-Jet Super Sprint. Oh, fun. I need to reprint an M-Jet so I can have that ready for next year. Is there a good trailer 3D model for it on cults? Haven't seen a trailer for it. In terms of hitch receiver bumpers, why do I feel like CC Hand makes one? Check into that. CC Hand. Sorry I'm late. Where's Josh? His internet is a potato. The warp makes it more believable. Step away from the cuck V. Leave the bent bed on it. CUCV bed looks more realistic. Looks like it was adjusted by some good old boys with a 50-foot jump. Yep. I got my stickers. They're epic. Excellent. Possibly even 5 weeks. Maybe more. 6? Absolutely. I should scroll ahead because I think I'm really behind now. Oh yeah, good question. Who did get in on the VP outlet section deals? Coal miners? I'm going to be slapping down ice cream cones with authority. Yeah. Josh, his internet sucks, but they're replacing it. And his mobile service at home is garbage too. Yeah, he's telling them how to fix it. Hybrid is really the way to go. Yeah. It works great. My plug-in hybrid system is fantastic. And I'm not going to go on a rant about how great it is, but I just really like it. I really like it a lot. I'm just going to see what the Rivian experience is like. That's it. The end. You are late, so you cannot get any. They're a very limited supply. I only do like runs of 250 sets, and they sell out in 24 hours, typically. So, unfortunately, you missed it. Did you get your new origin color figured out? Yes, I did. I wish I could tell you what it was. I'm very excited, though. I think it'll look cool. Milestone chat. Let me think of something clever to say and I'll get back to you. 14 months. Wow. Falcon Porsche. Yes. I had one of those very, very long time ago in the Falcon livery. I loved that car. That was amazing. But I think what they're doing is good. It's like a re because it's not anything different. Still Sprint 3. But yeah, good car. Solid. I am not much of a builder, it's true. Dog's upstairs. Do you have any interest in the RC Everyday Lowrider shop truck chassis? No. It's weird. I typically, and you'll see, everything that I make is typically off-road. I don't have a lot of love for on-road here because there's nobody to do it with. So while I appreciate the build and the style, it's just not something that I think I would get much out of. Maybe like it might be fun to do like just a good old-fashioned build-off and do something like that for that. And then, of course, Craig, follow up. Time for a styrene build-off on the forum again. That's a great idea. That would force me to do styrene scratch building. So that will be the thing I will do. What kind of paint is best for painting the Night Customs matte driver figure? I always start by doing a nice sand. You have to sand these first, if you're not printing in resin anyway. If it's on an FDM printer, sand them, get them nice and smooth, hit them with some filler primer, and then I use Vallejo airbrush paint mostly. Yeah. I also use some Citadel paint, which is for those like Warhammer figures. Those often work well as well. So there you go. Oh my gosh. Squeaky stool has been replaced by squeaky door. Squeaky door has never left. It's always been squeaky. If you're going to go back to styrene, you might as well whittle it out of wood. I did that once. Headquake makes it look so easy. It's not. He did an amazing job. Trying to talk myself out of a micro T. I think they're too small. I like this size. What is this? They say 14th scale for these guys. This is wild fun. I would get one of these over a mini T. Or micro T, I mean. Oh my gosh, my voice is failing already. Harley resigns, finally has resigned. Tyler, I'll never do any of those three things. Too much like a robot for me. No mail call this week. Yeah, I can't, quite literally, cannot show you anything that I got in the mail. But it was a slow week for mail. It was mostly like, dumb stuff. Like I needed more small zip ties. So I got these. It's nothing. Not shark taint anymore. Totally different color. Totally, but I did go polished. I will say that much. That's it. Nate, that's probably basically the same car I have. The XC60 and the S60, I think are the same basic platform. So yeah, very fun to drive. I'm groaning already, having read through this. Why does a duck have feathers? So you can't see its butt, quack. Just don't do a Traxxas styrene build again. Did I do that? Was that the Unimog? That might have been the Unimog. There's no one here to do it with. Where's my notes? Adding that to notes. Where is that? Here we go. There's no one here to do it with. Thank you. That's a good one. I like that, Nate. Thanks. I have become a bit of an RTR guy. Typhon Grom versus Losi NASCAR. Aren't they on the same chassis? Aren't they on the same basic chassis with just a few different plastic pieces? I would go this. Because you can... This goes in more places. You can do it with more people. I might actually suggest for URCA next year that we do some Typhon Grom racing, but on a much bigger track than the vintage buggies. We have not done a monthly Mayhem in a while. That is true as well. Oh, the Earth Roamer. Yes, of course. I forgot all about that. Why does everybody assume I'm always wearing a hat? I tend to not wear a hat more often than I wear a hat, I think. Oh, okay. That makes more sense. Yes. I can answer that one. One, he uses one camera, but what he does is he films a bunch of laps from one angle, then he moves the camera and films them again, like drives it from that angle, and then moves the camera again, and again, and again, and again. And then he puts the edit together. Magic. If you end up not liking your origin color, did you know that they make vinyl that you can put on RCs? It's crazy. That sounds wild. What? I'm pretty sure I'm going to like it, though. It is definitely unique. Yes, I'm a basher now. Scale Bashers Guild. Tempted to pick up one of the Typhons just to do the Bob conversion. Yes, that's on my list. It should be arriving any day now. I cannot wait. TRX6 hauler that you made a styrene bed on and gave back to Traxxas, and some bozo sold it from the store. Yes, I remember. Doug Willman, thank you very much. Volvo plug-in better than the 4xe. Oh, yes. It's certainly more luxurious. It's certainly a better drive. Like, driving dynamics. It's way faster. Rebecca doesn't complain about it when she's in it, so that's good. Yeah, I thoroughly like it. I like the Volvo. I do. Grom is available as brushless. This is the brushless one, so it's more expensive, but it also goes 50 miles an hour, which is wild at this size. It's a fun little car, for sure. Fun little buggy. Highly recommended. Have you ever thought about putting some metal side panels on your CJ? I haven't considered that. But if you make them, Ryan, send me a message. Maybe we'll figure something out. Josh is the hat person. That's right. Josh, you rarely see his hair. I mean, if he's in a hot tub, you'll see all of it. Have you seen the new Kaido House Tamiya themed Hot Wheels style cars? I do have the Clodbuster, so yes. I didn't know they're doing more though. That's cool. There must be enough interest to do rally racing in the GTA. Some of the guys from Hobby do rally racing. I don't know if they still do, but they did a couple years back. We should reach out to them, see if they're still doing it. What cameras are you using? I'm currently using, I've got 3 that I use typically. The A6500 is the main camera here. A6500 stays in here, Sony. And then next to it is a A7C, which I do for all the like secondary camera angles, B cam, if you will. That's also what I typically film outdoors with the most. And then I also have an FX30, which is specifically for 4K. I can do 4K 120, I think. So like the really slow, super slow motion that I typically bring out when I'm doing like fast stuff. Or if I'm shooting a video for somebody else, they get the FX30. Yeah. Any advice for what transmission to use on an SCX-10 pre-runner build? No. Probably not the right person to ask. I'm not cool on going. I mean, I go fast every once in a while. You could do like just a 3 gear probably, and put a really hot motor in it. That might work. Video for the Typhon bug. Yes, I will do that. That'll be on What's on the Bench for sure. Oh my gosh, I'm caught up. I did it. I have seen the new phones. Haven't. I don't know that I need to upgrade. I've still got a 15 that's in pretty good condition, and it does everything I need it to. So I'll probably wait on that one. Thought you had an FX3. No, I have an FX30, Pete. We actually did talk about it, I think. Yes, he was asking if I thought he should get an FX3. And I do think if you can afford an FX3, you should definitely get one. They're pretty rad cameras. The difference between the FX3 and the FX30 is the FX30 is a crop sensor. That's the only difference. And I was like, I don't need full frame. I have a lot of crop sensor lenses already, so that's enough camera talk. Is Rich been on after he joined Reefs? I don't think so. That's probably a good person to add to the list of people to get back on. We should even have Reefs on. Why not? That would be kind of cool too. Bets on Josh freaking out the new iPhone comes in orange right after having to get a new phone. I was actually considering, not that I'm getting one, but if I were to get a phone, I would get the orange one. Because I like that color. It's like I like pops of color. For example, just the red toe hooks. Or the red peanuts. More red toe hooks. I like how that looks. I like a little pop of color every once in a while. When are you starting the Viper felony build? Well, that's a good question. I should probably get that felony out and start cleaning it up. Because it's mad dirty. A couple of burnouts will do that on that car. So I will get that out. And I have to figure out a livery for that Viper body. It's so big, it's going to take a lot of paint. So, yeah. I have to consider that. I did have some good liveries in mind for that car. Like existing ones. It would be kind of cool to go like old school ACR with that as well. That might be kind of neat. Yeah. Oh, this is a good idea. Tool time. Matt, you should do a Reefs-inspired painting to auction off for charity. Do I have to use his servos to paint it? That could be kind of cool. We could set up a whole bunch of like servos just like with paintbrushes on the end of them. Oh my God, this is brilliant. I love this idea. We'll have to see if he's into it. Actually, who cares? I'll just do it. That's amazing. Great idea. I have to write that one down. Thank you so much, Tool Time. To do. Reefs. Oops. Reefs servo painting. That's so hilarious. I love that idea. Amazing. Did Rich come from Axial or Associate? He came from Axial to go work at Reefs. Ooh, great question, Tyler. What's the most frustrating truck you've built out of the ones on your on the shelf behind you? Most frustrating of these ones. Well, frustrating that's a difficult word because there's been some builds that have been challenging, like the steam truck, obviously very challenging build. Half track, very challenging. Neither of those were very frustrating though, because I thought about them a lot before I actually did anything. Probably the most frustrating one is, I'm going to say, you can't see it right now, but I'm going to say it's the Jimmy. Because for whatever reason, whatever I did, and I don't know if it's probably not me, it was probably an electronics gremlin, but the first ESC that I had in there refused to work after 5 minutes. Like, it would just stop. That thing was the worst. And it caught me out on the event. So I swapped that out, put in a home setup, now it works great. But for the 2 comps that I ran with that ESC, most frustrating experience in my life in this hobby. So there you go. Do you have a list of future build projects? Yes, I do. It's sort of like, it's always in flux though. It's like whatever I kind of come across, I'll typically write it down, or I have an inspiration folder on my desktop. Anytime I see something I really like, I just drag those photos into that inspiration folder, and then I kind of go back and look at it every time I'm looking for something to do. Is your IJ just sanded and painted to that color? Yes. It started as silver ABS, and then I sanded everything to get it nice and smooth, and then I painted it. Same thing with the side panels. They were all printed in ABS or PLA? ABS, and then sanded, painted. I didn't want it to look printed. And the cage obviously is printed, but I will get around to making one out of metal at some point. Maybe when I get my TIG machine. Do they call them that? TIG machine? My Viper felony, I tried to do a fade neon green to black. I learned my paint skills need work. Painting is a challenge for sure. Especially on Lexan, because you have to think backwards. And also you have to kind of go from darkest to lightest, typically, unless you're doing a lot of masking. Dip the servos in paint and throw them at the canvas. That Mercury Gladiator, that thing was hot garbage to put together. I was so annoyed. So annoyed. But it's not back here. It's long gone. I don't even know who has that anymore. Somebody bought it from me. And I warned them, so they know. Steam truck is sick. Thank you very much. Got to find what he actually built. Oof! Ouch! The burns are coming in fast and furious. I built that. I put that together. I bought that. I put this together. I built this. I built this guy. I put that together. I built this. I'm building that. Those 2 I built. I put that together. This mostly I built. Josh only did the cage. I did everything else. That was built by me. That was built by me. There you go. That's most of the stuff. Adam Sparks, thank you very much. Can you show the skid loader next to a 10th scale truck if it's in there laying around? I've started printing it, but was looking for reference. I can do that. Let me just move the rockabilly here. And I'll put the skid steer, which of course is in here because everything is always within reach. I'll put it right next to the Toyota. And you can see it's a little tiny bit out of scale. This is big. I'd say this is like 8th scale, give or take. Not 10th. But it looks okay. I think if you had it next to like a Traxxas truck, it would probably look fine. Those are all typically a little bit larger. I hope that helps. And I can put this rockabilly back there. I was doing Batmobile things earlier this week, That's coming along nicely, but I'm not going to share any of that because we need to... Oh, it looks like Lexan, you did a good job on the paint. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. 1K clear, not even 2K. Blazing Blazer has not been touched in a very long time. It really only needs some minor body work, and then I could really get it into paint. And I think I will take that to a paint booth and do it myself once I get it to that point. But yes. What filling primer do you use for 3D prints? Just a, I don't know, I can't remember what it's called. I was just using it. It's probably just Duplicolor, if I'm honest. Nothing fancy there. But I don't use very much of that. I should note that. It's like 1 coat max. And that's it. What was the longest build project you've had? How many builds did you start with enthusiasm but lost interest? I've given up on a lot of builds. They probably haven't even, like, you haven't even seen them probably, because if you did, they generally get finished. My failure rate isn't very high though. I feel like I spend more time thinking about building than I do actually building. So if I thought about it long enough, typically it's going to get built. That's a terrible way of putting it, but that's close. Do you think the Bobcat can reach into the dump truck? It most definitely can. Yes. And that's part of the reason I have a dump truck. Full scaled out, hear me out, full scaled out TRX4 F-150. I did that, didn't I? I did the lowered one anyway. It had an interior as well. You can find that on the channel if you're interested. You're looking tired. Well, it was a long day. I've been out all day doing stuff. Is the windshield on the IJ Lexan? Yes, it is. But I finished that weeks ago. But yes, it is Lexan. It has to be. Do you have any tips for a new YouTuber / channel? Yes, be authentically yourself all the time. If you're not comfortable on camera, do not go on camera. If you want to just do a hands-only type video, that's totally fine. But the voice that I want to hear is yours. And I want to hear your personality come through, and, just be yourself. Don't try to be anybody already that exists. Just be yourself. That's the best advice I can give you. And it's something I stick to. If you meet me in person, you're going to meet exactly the same guy. And anybody who's met me can say that unequivocally. Even Colton. My cage is PA6CF. That's excellent. That's a great filament to use. I used ABS-GF for this one, and it's held up to 1 rollover. I try not to roll over my trucks very much. Dr. Legend President Mike Short 4, thank you. This is because your internet works. Hi, Kenny. Yes, I did fix the scratch. You can barely see it now. Oops. You can still see it quite well. I should have masked them off and painted them again, but I just filled it in with a little marker. I cheated. Yeah, think, stare, repeat 50 times, and then paint. Oh, 10 o'clock. Hey, we made it a whole hour. Just me. That's great. I watched Josh's video on the G11P doing research. Is that a radio? Is that the Noble or Fly Sky or whatever? You could put 11 servos with brushes and put it on that wild test mode. Oh yeah, test mode. I forgot about that. Let them run wild. That would be hilarious. I love that. We don't mention the peanuts scratch. Wait, so I'm lost, came in late, not even sure what day it is. And where's Josh? He's on internet holiday. Comcast decided that people in the modern age don't need internet where he lives, so they turned it off. Would be better behind that FTX LC80 TRX4 clone thing. That's big, but it's not much bigger than that FJ60. A little bit bigger. Carbon Porsche was an impressive project. Yes, it definitely was. I learned a lot on that one. And it makes me, it's so funny, like, now that I know how to do carbon fiber, it's like, oh yeah, just mock up some carbon fiber and do some carbon fiber. But now that I have that Makera, the Carvera Air, that thing, like, I said this to Josh, I was like, it's so great and it's so versatile and it's so useful in this hobby. There's no reason that there shouldn't be something from that machine on every build I do from now on. So with that in mind, the Batmobile is going to get a carbon fiber piece, or at least a partial upgrade to carbon fiber. Because it's like, why not? I've got carbon fiber. I've got a Carvera Air. I should be doing that. So you're building a paint booth? No, I rent a paint booth. I have a contact who is a cabinet maker. They've got a great big shop, and they have a paint booth. And I used it for the secret project, which is no longer a secret anymore. It's out there. It's real. It's happened. I wish I could bring one in here, but they're too big. Should I get one? It's a real pain in the butt to bring them in. Buck Dandy, thank you very much. This is because your internet is working. Way to keep the streak going. We cannot let the streak die. 284 episodes. There's no way we're letting it ever stop. How many vehicles do you own that run? Every single one, Brian. There's not a single one that isn't in working, running order. Everything would run. The unfinished builds, obviously not. But if you said, put a battery in that, let's go, I could do that. Every single one. That Ranger build got dropped. Yes, it did. But somebody has that now and is finishing it, which is great. Matt is advocating for OnlyHands. Make your recent Canadian East Coast event video public. You owe it to my buddy RC dealer Colby from Mr. Wizard for holding your phone while you received your award for rockabilly. Fair enough. That's true. I see only Josh's comments are seen. No, everybody's comments are seen. Sometimes I have to scroll ahead. So if I miss one, I'm sorry. So be yourself. Unless you can be Matt, then be Matt. Yeah, if you can be me, don't be me. Don't be me. I've met Josh a couple of times. He is definitely as awkward in person as he is on camera. Agreed. Don't believe him. His real name is Gerald. He's 5'2" and speaks with a French accent. That's all bullshit. Seafart Fire Truck. Hello. Batmobile. You want to see Batmobile? I'll show you Batmobile. Not much has changed. However, I did print the back tail lights. So that's something. I designed those and made them myself. I also started working on the design for the fog lamps. But that is a really complex shape. And I'm not good at those things. So we'll see how those turn out. Otherwise, not much progress there. Because I don't know. Honestly, I'm trying to figure out what kept me busy all week. But I don't really know what it was. Like, I'm at a loss. No idea. What did Jay say that was funny? Probably something I already read. Only an hour? It seems so much longer. Do you still have the carbon fiber bug body? Yes, I do. I forgot all about that one. That's upstairs. Generally, if I don't touch something for 6 months, but I know I want to keep it, like it's going to have a place, it's going to live somewhere on something, it goes upstairs. So, hey, it goes upstairs, and then I forget about it. And then I go up there every once in a while and go, oh yeah, that's pretty cool. Your building skills are top notch. Driving skills, first 2 minutes scratch. That's because you made us go through that gap, and I wasn't looking, and I scraped it up against a rock. And I'm sure you were chuckling to yourself because you knew it was going to happen. Res Runner Experience. Any plans on building another drift car? If there is, might I suggest a 77 Buick Brougham? aka Uncle Buck style with backfiring tailpipe. Sounds like an interesting build. I'm not currently, like, I know as soon as it gets snowy here, I'll be like, let's go to the drift track, because I get my RC fixed that way. I should probably head out there soon, though. I haven't seen those guys in a while, and I do have that new body that I do want to run. So it still needs a servo, though. I have to order a servo, and it has to be Futaba servo. So there. Bring it in. Bring it in. Bring it in. Okay. Let me go get it. How far behind am I? I'm just checking all the comments here. Taking this up, Zach Klein, thank you. Taking this slower moving chat to take an opportunity to say I appreciate the effort you put into fostering community in the RC world. Videos are always top notch, and your live stream banter is 10 out of 10. Thank you very much. I appreciate that comment so much. When's your next big sale? I've got a lot of stuff to unload. I do, but it's mostly fast stuff. There's not going to be a ton of scale stuff, although there will be a few of those too. Yeah. No idea what the secret project is, and I'm tired of hearing about what it not is. Well, secret's no longer. So let me go get it. I'm all caught up. I think it's been like 8 months since the last time I was at the drift track. I know, I feel bad. I should be out there more often, because then I'd probably get better at it. Would you ever sell that MFAB Land Cruiser body? The unfinished one? Maybe. I have the Carvera Air. Okay, I'm going to get the big truck. But at first, I got to make some room on the bench. Because I can't hold it. It's too heavy. I feel like I'm going to... this is nerve-wracking for me because it is so big. Okay, everything. Take a sip of this. Okay. Give me a sec. Be right back. Oh, these are so heavy. Oh my God. I can't break it because I'm delivering it tomorrow. Here it is. Whew. So I made 4 of these. It's a Toyota Tundra TRD Pro on an SCX6 chassis with a soccer ball carrier in the back. So this was designed for Toyota Canada, and they are sponsoring the NSL, which is the Northern Super League, I believe. And it's a women's soccer league. And, you know, like they usually would have like a child carry the ball out to center field to start the game. They're using these instead. And they're running these all during the playoffs. So it is a licensed body. Toyota Tundra. TRD Pro. Everything started as a digital file. This body was printed in 10 parts in PETG and PPA CF as well. Putting kids out of jobs. Yeah, exactly. Extended wheelbase SCX6 underneath. Pretty much stock in terms of electronics, but throttle limited to 50%. Specs, length, width, wheelbase. I don't know off the top of my head. I have it all written down somewhere. Yeah. Josh helped with the design of the ball carrier. Fun fact, all of the little pads in there are TPU, so it won't mar the ball. The rest of it was all laser cut at Send Cut Send. There's some 3D printed parts in there as well. It is wildly heavy. These are like, I want to say they're about 40 pounds, 45, 50 pounds each. Will it be safe in the sun? Yes, it's PETG, so not to worry there. They are also, interestingly enough, not just glued together, but I used, what did I use? There's a JB Weld plastic flexible bonder, which helped. But then in addition to that, the tire inside of each body is inlaid with carbon fiber. So strong, not flexible. Lots of resin printed details like the headlight lamps. Those are all resin printed. The TRD Pro badging is 3D printed on a resin printer. Tail lights are resin printed. Oh, it's so heavy. And yeah, there's 4 of them in the world. You can see this one is, where is it? There, somewhere. There's a sticker that says number 4. But yeah, this is what the secret project has been. And this is why I've been so busy, is that these are freaking massive. It's so big. Like it doesn't fit anywhere. And you can imagine, I was working on these in this space, which is crazy. All 4 are white as per Toyota's request. They didn't want any other colors, which was kind of disappointing, because I would have loved to do like any other color than white. But yeah, it was a fun project for sure. Now I have to go put it back because I can't sit in here at all. Ooh, here we go. Be right back. Hopefully I won't trip or die. So that's pretty fun, huh? What was really funny about them, well, not funny for me, but when I first presented the first 2 back in July, I did it at Toyota Canada at their head office. Walked them through the whole process of how I put them together and how I built them. And I said, they drive really great. By the way, you'll need the keys. And I actually did a little tiny, like, 6 scale key fob that Tundra has. So yeah, it was pretty fun. Yeah, hernia sized SCX6 and then some. They are so heavy. I got so sweaty because I had to carry one of them from my car to the actual meeting room. By the time I got there, I was like, both of my arms were shaking and I was drenched in sweat. And that's why you built a paint booth in the backyard. No, no. Unshameless plug to Matt. He's been talking about this for a good while to the members. That's true. If you are an insider, a ding-dong, if you will, you would know all about it already and even have seen it. Josh did an excellent job on that design. It really did turn out very nice. And he was very instrumental and helpful along the way. There was also another maker by the name of Hugh. He's out in the north end of the city, northeast end of the city, and he works with this agency that I did all this work through, and he gave me some really good tips along the way too. So a lot of people helped out. It was crazy though. When they got them, when I first delivered them, they were like, "Oh, can we go up these curbs?" And I was like, "God, no. You wanted a stock looking truck. This can't do any of those things. It can go straight, it can turn, it can deal with some terrain, but do not drive these off cliffs, or don't drive these off curbs or downstairs." Josh also helped with the drive shafts. He had to TIG together in order to get the length, because the drive shaft itself is like, what did it end up being? 15 inches long. I had to buy two from, who made them? It wasn't Triel. It was one of the other companies. They were making steel ones. So we got two of them welded together to make the really long one. It's wild. Yeah, they're pretty awesome. So they'll be for sale at the dealership after the tournament. No. These guys know this. It's not through a dealership. It's through the actual like Toyota, not through a dealership. Chassis is an SCX6, just extended. I built, I designed and then send-cut sanded and then powder coated frame extensions that actually worked really well. I did limit the shocks so it doesn't have as much articulation by just putting in like a length of steel tubing inside under the shaft, or under the shock disc. I can't remember what that's called. Does Toyota even know they started out as Jeeps? Two of them started as Jeeps. The other two started as Honchos, which I think are close enough. But yeah, got to do some proper stretching for sure. No bloodshed on the live stream, only balls dropped. Yeah, it's pretty wild. It's pretty wild. It was very fun. It's so little. Yeah, it was really fun to do that. And apparently they got used this weekend and they were all like super thrilled with how they turned out. So that's good. Did you get a sweet lease deal on a TRD Pro? No. But they did pay for it. It was nice to be paid for the work. But working with a client and an agency on top of that, with deadlines and everything, it was pretty balls to the wall since March. Just to print one body was about 200 hours, give or take. Because it was about 10 hours per piece. Well, 15 hours per piece, and there were 10 pieces each. So around 200 hours printing. It was crazy. It was a lot. Yeah. Thank you very much, Ryan. I appreciate that. They should have let you put an SBG sticker on it. Yeah, but that's the thing. When it's a contract job and it's not... Like, I still filmed the entire process. And I'm cutting the video as we... Well, not as we speak, but right now-ish. I hope to have that out in the next couple of days. Weeks. What I really want to do is get some footage from the soccer game. And I know they shot a bunch of stuff, so I'm hoping they can send that to me. And then I can include that in my video. I did teach them how to use LiPo batteries. It's all smart tech, so pretty plug and play, pretty simple. They haven't had any issues, so that's good. Piston, that's the word I was looking for. Thank you. Were those soccer balls to the wall. The wildest part, or the most nerve-wracking part of the whole build, was making sure that Josh and I actually built to the proper dimensions for the real soccer ball. Because we were like, soccer balls come in a lot of different sizes. And to make sure it's a professional size ball is a size 5, which sounds weird. But yeah. Yeah. That's not something I can talk about, unfortunately. But it was a hefty bill. Will you be releasing the print files? Negative. Nobody needs to make this. Yeah, all printing in-house, like in yours. Yeah, I used both of my H2Ds. That's why I have two. I was like, I need to get a second H2D, so I have one, the build volume, and two, the print speed. And these were all printed with the 0.8 nozzle, which is the biggest nozzle, to squeeze as much filament out as possible, as fastest as possible. What that left me with were some pretty rough bodies. So there may have been 200 hours worth of printing per body. There was probably easily another 200 hours of sanding of those bodies. So yeah, I'm not buying a Rivian. How many rolls per body? It was 12, if I recall correctly. Yeah. How did you keep track of how many kilos of filament? What I did was I scaled up the body, broke it up into sections, and then test printed by, like, you know, preparing each one, slicing each file to see how many grams of filament it was going to use, and then I bought the filament. Yeah. What size are those? They're roughly 6th, closer to 5th, give or take. Like 5.5. What would you do different? Well, originally, how I started this was assembly line. So as I got one body printed, I would start printing the next body, and I'd start sanding the first body. And I kept, you know, each process, I would learn something about what I needed to do slightly differently on the next one. So each one was sort of, you know, moving along at the same pace. And I was like, great, these will all be done by September. Let's just pick a month. It doesn't matter. But then halfway through that process, they were like, we actually need to earlier. So is there any way that we can get these before September? And I was like, well, that's going to really kind of screw up my, it's really going to screw up my assembly line process. So I had to split it and do 2 at one time and then get to the other 2 afterwards. All that Toyota money, you still can't buy a PS5? I don't have time for a PS5. I really don't. I don't know when I would actually play a video game. Isn't it like 8 sections? No, it's 10. It's 10 per truck. The build volume wouldn't allow me to do any less than that. Great work. Hopefully you printed yourself one. No. No. 4 was enough. Toyota's going to be real butthurt when they commission you again and you show up in an R1S. Hey, I showed up in a Volvo and they didn't say anything. What color's the Rivian? I don't have a Rivian. I don't. So you're saying Serial 001 is the crappy one? No, I would say number 1 is probably... Number 1 might be the second best one. I would say number 3 is probably the best. 3, 1, 2, 4. That's the order I would put them in. Those would be great with FPV. Yeah, I didn't go to the level of doing an interior. All those windows are just styrene sheet that have been masked with a vinyl wrap. I'm not sure you've seen that before. And the reason they don't look super shiny now is I've left the protective coating on the wrap. I don't take that off until I actually deliver them. Good question. Who approached you about the project? And is this the largest project you've done? I was approached, this is funny, I was approached through the Scale Builders Guild forum website by an ad agency producer that I've already worked with. But she didn't know that I was that. So when I was like, oh, hey, I know you. You know me. It was kind of funny. And yeah, so I was approached by the agency that handles all the Toyota brand work to do this experiential sort of activation. But then, you know, I would liaise with the agency, and then whatever client requests came in would go to the agency and then come to me. That's basically how it worked. And yes, it is the largest figuratively and literally, project I've ever done. Because by 4, you were hallucinating from dust inhalation and sleep deprivation. Yeah. I joined everything together temporarily. I would join 2 or 3 pieces at a time with just regular CA. Hit it with the activator so it would set up really quick. And then after that, I would give everything a pretty, let me see if I can find some here, because it is a pretty unique JB Weld material. Yeah, here it is. It's this plastic bonder. It's a 2-part epoxy, but it's got some flex built into it, and you can still sand right over it. So I would use this to kind of, again, temporarily hold it all together. And because it, the CA obviously can be kind of pulled apart pretty easily, if I made any, if I need to make any adjustments to like the geometry, if something was a little bit off, I could just pull them apart, put them back together. Then I would use the plastic bonder to give it a more permanent bond. And then after, and everything also was keyed too. So there was also like little dowel style things between each piece. It's a thing when you slice up a big file, when you split it into smaller parts, you can add that in the slicer. So then after that cured, then I would lay carbon fiber and epoxy in the entire inside of the body to give it that rigidity and strength. Yes, I think the inspiration, Paul, was that same thing. Volkswagen has, they've done a bunch for discus and javelin. And then the minis were also done at the British Olympics for the returning of all those things as well. Yeah, I'm that guy. Yeah, exactly. I've seen this commercial. That was a big inspiration for sure. Well, that's cool that somebody was, a friend of yours drove that. That's wild. That's cool. Did the paint stick all right on that urethane plastic bonder? It sure did. Yes, without any trouble at all. Yeah, I didn't have any trouble with that, obviously. Yeah. Oh, hey, there he is right there. Day 1. Internet's still out. I've met several neighbors and a lady who lives in my house. Oh, that's nice. Good to see you. Josh, you missed the tundras. I praised you for all of your help. So thank you for being a part of that. Can those handle a cliff jump? No, absolutely not. I wouldn't trust it. Josh being forced to talk to randos. That's so amazing. Yeah, this stuff is great. It works really, really well. It does have like a working time of about 15 minutes, which is great too. Then you can sand it within 30, which is wild. You can trail it. You could do light trailing, but it's basically just a stock. That was another contentious issue, is that I had 3D mock-ups of everything that I shared with the clients before I even did any printing. And I was like, okay, here it is. Note the wheel and tire size, because I was just going to use stock SCX6 wheels and tires. And they're like, ooh, that looks a bit lifted. It looks a little bit not stock. Can you get a more stock looking wheel and tire? And I was like, maybe. There's not a lot of off the shelf things I could do in the amount of time that I have in order to make that work. But I'll see what there is. So I ended up buying what ended up working. I tried a couple of different wheels and tires. One set from the Hammer Ray. I tried those, but those were too small. And then I went to the Super Baja Ray 2.0 wheels and tires, and client seemed to really like those. I felt they looked a little small myself, so I convinced them at the very last minute, we should just stick with these SCX6 wheels and tires. They're going to look great. They are going to be capable, and I don't have to design any special hexes. So luckily they went with those. Otherwise, Josh and I had worked on a design for a brass hex, and I actually cut a whole bunch of them just in case, but luckily we didn't need to use them. Were they 2.2s or SCX6 size? What, the wheels and tires? Yes, there's SCX6. Do you know how crazy it is that you got commissioned to build at the level of Toyota and soccer, plus kind of part of your real work? Pretty cool. It is kind of cool. Like, I'm not denying it. It's very cool. And it was a really awesome experience. Definitely one that I'm not sure I want to take on anytime soon again. It was a lot. It was a lot. How did you find the correct scale for the bodies? Well, luckily I had a digital file of the body, so I could scale it up as much as I wanted. I knew that wheelbase was obviously going to be something that I was going to have to adjust. So I kind of did away with that and worked to trek width. So, you know, like where the tires are, how much body do I want sticking out? And of course, if it's going to be a stock looking truck, you want those tires basically to be in line with the fenders. So I just scaled up because I had the basic measurements of an SCX6 in Fusion. So I could just scale it up, scale it down, scale it up, scale it down until I found the right dimensions that kind of worked for the chassis without having to make a ton of adjustments to that. Because I wanted to make this as idiot-proof as possible, because I'm not going to be the one, I am not the one driving them. So I wanted it to be like off-the-shelf components, off-the-shelf electronics, proven platform that already works. I don't want to do anything mechanically that's going to compromise that. So let's just leave it super simple. So that way, whoever's driving it, I created a manual that goes along with the truck so they can read through that, understand everything about it, and then basically not F it up. Yeah. So there you go. How much sleep did you lose? It was more stressful when I was really busy at work, because obviously, you know, this SCX6 Tundra project was not my life's priority. It was obviously something that came after work. So imagine trying to still run a YouTube channel, do my real job, which was pretty busy throughout that time, and then also have the time to build those. So sleep was like one of the things that definitely took a back seat. But luckily, once you've done one of these once, you kind of have a scheme and a plan and a platform on which you can just kind of mindlessly do the things that need to get done. Yeah, so there you go. It was funny. At the beginning, we suggested all kinds of things. We said, well, we could do a new 4Runner, cut a hole in the roof and put the ball in there. We could do a Tacoma, which would be great. There's lots of digital files for that already. Or a Tundra, I guess. And they were like, oh, definitely Tundra. So there you go. I would think Toyota has some people that do RC as a hobby. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. They obviously didn't, because they asked me. How many actual running vehicles do they have? They have 4. There's 4 of them, which is it was a lot. You should get an invite to Toyota HQ when you go to Japan. Yeah. It's not a dealer. It's Toyota Canada that I worked with. So I'm sure they have contacts in Japan. Probably talk to them every day. Super busy, but still found time to keep tortillas in the house. That's Rebecca's responsibility. Women's soccer and RC cars, that will get dudes to watch. In the manual, did you write, did you purposely misspell words like, oh, no, I was pretty careful on the spelling. It's really interesting because they travel around throughout Canada. Like, all the teams are spread out. So there's one in Halifax, Nova Scotia. There's one in Montreal. There's one here in Toronto. There's one out in Calgary, and I think there's one in Vancouver. So they actually built like roadie cases with foam cutouts. I sent the cutout. I did like a basic silhouette of the body as a DXF and sent them to that. So they laser cut foam for these trucks to sit in so they can be transported around the country. Did you sign them? No, I didn't. I didn't want to do anything that would personalize them in any way. Are those COB LEDs? Where? No. Well, there's enough people in Halifax and Montreal that speak English. But I'm sure they could translate it if they needed to. I wonder if you could get a vacuum mold of that body. I don't think it would hold up. You'd have to fill it with something. You just showed one, though. Yeah, they already have the other two. The other two I'm delivering tomorrow. No Easter eggs either. I didn't do anything kooky or weird or SBG related. I didn't put like a bumper sticker anywhere on them. It is kind of like, I wanted to be as professional as I could be. So that's what I did. All right, what time is it? 10:37. I think we've exhausted my voice. I think we've exhausted this stream. I don't have anything else to show you. So I think that's it. That actually, it's funny. The Tundra won't be on the video tomorrow at all. And insider video of tomorrow also won't happen because there's a new release in there. So I can't do that. I'm sorry. Show it all. Yes, there is a Jorkin Peanuts bumper sticker already. Love you guys as well. But yeah, I think that'll do it for tonight. Hopefully Josh's internet comes back. I'm really glad that I got to share that Tundra with you all. There will be a complete build video, so you will get to see every step of the way on that exhausting build series. One video, probably an hour long. Lots of sanding. All right. That's going to do it. Thanks, everybody. Have a lovely evening. What's on the bench tomorrow? Featuring a new product that's going to be released tomorrow. All right? That's going to do it. Love you. Bye. Oh, wait. I think I have to thank some people first. Almost forgot how this show works. I should thank the following. RC Underdog. D'Artagnan, how come I didn't see that? Dart, I am so sorry. I missed your super chat. There it is. 2 Jeeps, 1 mat. That's the video with the 2 Jeeps. RC Underdog, Thomas Bialzik. Ooh, we should do this every time. D'Artagnan, MJ Georgie being a member for 16 months. C Death, member for 14 months. Jay Walker, 14 months. F Doug Willman, thank you. Adam Sparks, Dr. President Mike, President Legend Dollar Store Buck Dandy, and Eric Weiss. Thank you very much, everybody. Hey, did that just come in? That must have just... I missed that one too. You're not making a mistake by not doing it in ABS. They both work really well. Apparently, people have been printing in ABS GF and having even better luck. I have some ABS GF. It works pretty well. I like it. And that's it. That's going to do it. Now we can end the stream. No F1 talk. Not going to bother anybody with that. But I appreciate you all. Have a great evening. We'll see you again soon. Love you. Bye.